Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor is due to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Knows in this gospel, bro, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just kind of like a follow-up to my transit earlier in the video that Elder Apostle Gabar did about the repair. It was called Repair and Restore, which is a very edifying video, by the way. I recommend every brother watch that video. As we went into the breaking down of reparations, which reparations means to restore, if I'm not mistaken. We can look up the definition. But also he looked up a book called Vultures in Eagles' Clothing, Lawfully Breaking Free of Ignorance-Related Slavery. You go into that book goes into, the ID, the state ID, the driver's license, the social security cards, how these particular contracts has binded us to an agreement through Esau Edom, which revokes your rights as a human being to travel and to do certain moves as a sovereign, okay, which hence we are in captivity. Okay, and I looked this book up on Amazon. The book is $228. $228. A book that was once $12, $13. I think it's like a softback copy. It is actually $228. I looked it up on Amazon, and that's how much the book costs. So if brothers is interested in finding this book, you could probably download a free PDF file and you can read it from that. Download it to your smartphones or your computers, etc. But nonetheless, man, this book is $228, man. So that tells you everything. It's information out here that Esau doesn't want being publicized because he's exposed. But let's look up reparations. Reparations. To make amends for the wrong one has done by paying money to otherwise helping those who have been wronged. The courts compensate for war damage paid by a defeated state. Okay. And honestly speaking, it says those who have been done wrong. And when you look at our history from coming to this country as slaves, even to this very day, the injustices that has been done to our people have not been atoned for. Okay. Esau has not paid. When you got to think, you got to ask yourself this. You have a job, right? That's not a form of reparations. Okay. That's not a form of reparations. You have a car, a house. Those are things that the average citizen get because they work for them. But you got to ask yourself this. You jakes are paying taxes. You're paying child support. You're paying alimony. You're paying rent. A lot of insurance companies, man, like Aetna, would start off the backs of slaves. Like they finance chattel slavery. Like a lot of times when they go to the auctioning blocks, they 25, 35, 45, 45. What they do is if you couldn't afford to buy that slave, you will have a particular broker that will finance you, okay? And you will have to pay that broker back off the wages you get off that slave, okay? That's where they get the whole term financing from. Like when you go buy a car and you can't afford the loan, they'll basically front you the money or allegedly front you the money at a percentage, 4 or 5%, and then you have to pay 5% on top of the loan which they give you. So Aetna, Aetna, you got what's some more? Allstate, you got Geico. You have a lot of these particular companies, man, that actually trace their roots back into captivity. But yet, Jake is paying an arm and leg for some goddamn insurance, which shows you that this so-called white man don't give a damn about you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Okay? And clearly he doesn't. And why should he? Like the Apostle Gabar was going into, why should he care about our people when the Lord, this is his kingdom. This is his kingdom. And to prove that we are the Israelites, look at all the other nations. Look at the Asians or the Japanese after the time of World War II. Okay, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, after the bombings and the atomic camps that those Japanese people were put in for about 2.5 years, 3 years. I believe they received a couple $100,000 of family settlement. You see? But what do you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans get for serving captivity? Oh, well, we emancipated you, which emancipation doesn't mean freedom. To be emancipated means to transfer from one owner to the next. Okay, like when you get a wife. Okay, technically, by law, the wife is emancipated from her father to the husband because she's the property of the father first. Then she becomes the property of the husband. That's how it works. So They've played you, Negro, Latino, and Native American. Well, we give you jobs, you have homes, so does everybody else. Okay, and to get more technical, look at the cost hollow. You know, that madness that they've been screaming about, the 6 million, which according to your records, it was only 2.9 million. And we speculate if it was even your people. You know, different documents came out that it may not even been your people. You know, so there you go. But yet they're getting 6 billion annually as a welfare state. But you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you screaming reparations for some greenbacks. Nah, bro, that's not how it works. Because the true reparations is going to come in the form of putting this man down and putting him in captivity where he belongs. That's the real reparations that we want as people. Okay, we don't want your greenbacks and your Federal Reserve notes, tickets that's being devalued by the second. We don't want that. All right. So I got a couple of precepts here. This wasn't going to be a long lesson. Kind of under the weather. I don't know what the hell is going around, but not at my full strength right now, so I want to kind of take it easy. But this is the book of Second Maccabees. I'm going to start at verses 2 and 27. It says, gather those together that are scattered from us. And who was scattered? The Israelites, okay? Our people. That's all throughout the scriptures. But when have you small hats ever been so-called scattered among the four winds of the earth? Now, I know you've been expelled from several countries because of your wickedness and nobody wants to live among you. But when have you ever been scattered or dispersed? Or when have you reached, or when have you ever had to suffer diaspora, which means to disperse on a national scale? You haven't, you know? So I'll give you 1 second. You haven't, so that doesn't apply to you. And it says, scattered from us, deliver them that serve among the heathen. Look upon them that are despised and abhorred, and let the heathen know that thou art our power, right? Okay, because on this planet, the scriptures say that we're going to be called the people, that we're going to be called, it says from here, in a place where they was not called the children of Israel, they should be called the children of the living God. So our fame and notoriety is coming real soon, brothers, but first the persecution has to come. The defamation has to come. We have to get persecuted. We have to be labeled undesirables or men of ill intent before we get the glory, because what saying is a dishonor or humility before honor. So we have to be put in a predicament that's going to test our integrity, so we can get the back end of the good deal. You know, so we're going to be defamed. We're going to be slandered. We're going to be said that we're crazy and that we're all over the place and that we're just a hate group. You know, we're going to have to go through that. But overall, it's going to flip flop, because now the nations are going to see our deliverance and they're going to say, wait a minute, these truly was the children of Israel. These was the people of God. Now that I think about it, it makes sense. I mean, look at the diversity of the talents. Look at the sportsmanship. Look at the way they look. Look at the way they do things. Look how innovative they are, you know, and it's going to get people to look like, oh, well, we knew that all along, you know. But it says, punish them that oppress us and with pride do us wrong. Okay. And that's the point. Who's been doing us wrong? These heathens, man. Okay. Now, the Jewish people, they're not going through no hell. They're not catching no type of hell under the nations. Now, it's true that the nations hate them, but anybody dare to come against them because they have what they call the ADL on their side. Now, when you look up the ADL, according to Apostle Tahar's research and our own research, when you look it up, basically the ADL is supposed to deal with anybody that's being defamed. Like you can file like a suit of somebody slandering you or somebody defamation of character. You can file a claim of somebody's speaking illy of your name. You can go down there and you can say, well, hey, this person is throwing dirt on my name. They're saying I'm this and I'm that and I'm that, you know, and they'll take on it by case basis. But as a whole consensus, they seem to extrapolate their services to the small hat community. Okay, because they're the ones that screaming this anti-S nonsense. Like, how the hell can you be anti when you're just speaking about the truth? Like, this video would be considered, oh, he's anti-S. How the hell I'm anti anything? Don't make any sense. But it says, punish them that oppress us and with pride do us wrong. That's the reparations right there. That's the real reparations. Okay, not some greenbacks, not some Federal Reserve notes, not some forgiveness of student loan debt. Oh, I'm gonna forgive all your debt. You can start over free. Well, just file a fucking bankruptcy, man. Because technically speaking, you got what they call the year of jubilees, which is every 7 years that all your debt's supposed to reset anyway. But this devil is unrighteous to the point your debt follows you, and he's able to judge and dictate certain benefits you get based on credit score. Now, it's true that at the time things do fall off your credit score, but the credit score don't really reset itself. It kind of stays stagnant where it is at, though the delinquent accounts may fall off, but you're still at a low credit score because he doesn't honor the jubilee law or the law, or he doesn't honor the whole jubilee notion. After 7 years, your debt and whatever you owe is forgiven, because 7 represents completion. Because you had some people in society that just they hit hard times, they hit brick roads, and then they had to do things the hard way. So in order to give them a fighting chance to kind of reestablish themselves in society, you forgive the debt so they can get a fresh start. But Esau doesn't do that, which proves he's a damn demon. All right. So this is the book of Ecclesiastes 3, and I'm going to start at verses 15. It says, that which have been is now, and that which is to be have already been, and the Most High required that which is past. Okay, so all your wickedness, your evil doing, the fact that you fucked us up, man, you put the woman over us, all types of stuff like that, man. Hey, the Most High is he's gonna judge you for that, man. He's gonna get that back in blood. Okay. Matter of fact, let's look up slavery of blacks. Let's look up and see what happens. Because every time this talking point comes up, then everybody want to turn a blind eye. Everybody want to become the deaf adder. But when you're talking about a bunch of nonsense that don't equate no value or historical value, then everybody want to scream and cry over that shit. But when we going into this, nobody wants to deal with this, man. And no amount of money is going to pay for what these people did to our people. Okay, there's no type of money. That was priceless. There's no price you can put on that. The only how you can repay that back is in blood, because the scriptures say the blood of roughly paraphrases in Numbers, I believe, the 34th chapter, when it goes, it says that only how the land can be cleansed is by the blood of him that shed it. So if you shed a man's blood, that's the only recompense is shedding your blood. Okay, going back to the eye for eye, tooth for a tooth type ordeal. Because the Most High don't want your fucking greenbacks, man. They're not worth anything. The 40 acres and a mule, you can keep that, man. Nobody wants that. And Jake didn't even get that. 40 acres and a mule. That's clearly not enough. 40 acres of land, please. You got Edomites that got more land than that, and they're on a low level, 40 acres. Which 40 acres is not small, but still, that ain't nothing compared to what we went through as a people. So look at this, man. Chattel slavery. What's the payback for this? Esau going in captivity. You had Jakes that dropped dead, man, in slavery. You had the Trail of Tears, where men literally walked from the Jettas of Florida all the way up to North Dakota. Women, children, okay? Elderly men, elderly women dropping dead from the harsh winters. It was ridiculous, man. And let's not talk about how many Jakes jumped over the ship or how many Jakes was thrown over the damn ship, man, coming over here to slavery. And word through the grapevine is that you got the sharks that swim that same path from the northern western coast of Africa all the way through the Atlantic to parts of where the ships docked at because of the blood, the stench. So they swim that same path of totality, allegedly. So this man has a lot to pay for, and it's not going to come in no greenbacks. And on top of that, he doesn't have the money to give us the reparations. He doesn't have that. So what did he say? Free health care for every black, Hispanic, and Native American. Okay, rent free for the rest of your life. No taxes. You would think he would do something as small as that, but would he do that? No, because he's greedy. Okay, and he don't give a fuck about you Negroes, man. And that's the point we're trying to tell you. Okay, your oppressor, they don't care for you, man. All right, and it says that which has been is now, and that which is to be have already been, and the Most High required that which is past. Okay, so the Most High requires that blood at your hand, Esau. He requires that. And you're going to pay that back, man. You're going to drink the whole dregs of slavery. Why? Because, hey, we had to drink the whole cup of our captivity because we went off. We sinned. But you don't get a pass, though, man. Okay? You don't get a pass by far. Because this is the book of Lamentations 4. And I'm going to start at verses 20. Matter of fact, let's start at 19. It says, our persecutors are swifter than eagles of the heavens. They pursued us upon the mountains, and they laid wait for us in the wilderness. The breath of our nostrils, the anointed of the Lord, was taken in their pits. And who is the anointed of the Lord? Okay, the Israelites. It says, of whom we said, under his shadow shall we live among the heathen. And this is our condition today among the heathen. We're in a land, in a strange land that we were brought over here to serve our captivity, to catch hell. Now, when you look at the result of it, only thing you can equate Jake with is black culture, which is tattoos, dreads, cross-dressing, transgenderism. Okay, when you time you see a black woman, it's always associated with long nails, eyelashes, and colorful weave. And you niggas have learned to accept that. You've learned to engrave that in your being to the point that's all you live for. You're living out the stereotype that this man has laid before you. Like yesterday when I was driving back to the crib, I was just telling the Lord, I was like, man, we got to get the fuck out of here. This is bad. Because I was just getting vexed. I'm like, man, this is ridiculous. I'm like, the only thing that these Jakes live for is the debaucherous culture that was put on them. Okay? You live for what this man has labeled you. Now, when you look at a fucking video or rap video, it's always a bunch of niggas with gold in their mouth, which gold grill is actually scriptural, is biblical. Okay? With the gold and the beard. We're going to have all that in the kingdom. But regardless of that, that's all Jake equate with. Big fancy chains, sagging pants, skinny jeans. Shoot this nigga, shoot that nigga. Black woman twerking, the whole culture. What's the name of that fucking song? What's that one demon name? Glorilla or something like that. You know, that's all you equate with our culture. That's all people ever see is a bunch of brutes, man. A bunch of baboons that escaped from the jungle. That's all they see when they see you people. And we get tired of that, man, because, hey, we don't label ourselves black. We don't call ourselves so-called black people because we're not. Who the hell want to be a fucking black person? Common sense, when you first come in a house and it's dark, you turn the damn light on. That's common sense, right? Exactly. But you equate as black and you love that shit, you know? But it says, the breath of our nostrils, the anointed of the Lord, was taken in their pits. From whom he said, under his shadow we shall live among the heathen. But rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. It says, the cup also shall pass through into thee, and thou should be drunken, and thou should make thyself naked. So, hey, the Most High gonna pour you up a full cup of that Tanqueray, man. He gonna put up a full cup of that goose, man, that Henny. You drinking all that to the head. You know them terms we used to call super shots. We used to get the little red cups. We used to fill shit all up, way up to the rim, and we drink it straight, man. You be fucked up after. That was shit we did when we was 19, 20, early 20s, you know. We used to do them Superman shots. Well, Esau, you gonna get a Superman shot for your ass, man. All right, and you gonna drink every drag of that. Because your future is straight slavery, and you're gonna be eviscerated. That's gonna be your punishment. Like Apostle Gabar said, I don't know how the hell you gonna deal with it, but who cares? You don't care about our condition. So yeah, you have 1,000 years of the most rigorous, torturous punishment that's ever gonna be known. Like when we fuck you up, the other nations are gonna feel like, oh shit, we don't want to be in that guy's predicament. And you other nations, you're gonna get jacked up too. You definitely gonna catch yours for the 1,000-year period as well. But overall, man, you're gonna be let loose out of your captivities and you're gonna go back to your lands. But Esau, he has nothing good coming for him, and deservingly so. You know. And it says here, and the punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He would no more carry thee away into captivity, and he will visit thy iniquity, O daughter of Edom, and he will discover thy sin. So, hey, you up next, buddy. You up next, bro. This is the goodest it get for you. So you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans talking about reparations. This is your reparation. This is a reparation right here. Revelation 13, verse 10. And anybody that got a problem with us talking about this, then, hey, just go pat your mom on the back, man. Okay, go do something. We don't give a damn. We reading out the scriptures. You guys promoting that, you goddamn right. We're talking about it because the scriptures say it. The scriptures say, eat this roll and proclaim the gospel unto Israel. Go teach our people. This is what we do. Eat the roll and go out there and speak it. And this is part of it. Okay, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And the reason says, he that leadeth into captivity should go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patient in the face of the saints. That's your reparations right there. Ain't no damn greenbacks. Ain't no jobs. Ain't no extra 10 cent incentive on a job. Ain't no, well, we're going to give you a management position. No, man. We don't want that. We want you, bro. Period. Because ain't nothing good like getting the person that have done wickedness to you Ain't no amount of restitution that you can pay out of your pocket is going to satisfy the bloodlust that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai has with you Edomites. Period. The Lord wants you in his hand. Okay, he's going to get you, man. So, AE, you better live it up, bro. Live it up. One last precept. This is the book of Jeremiah 30. And I'm going to start at verses 15. It says, why criest thou for thy affliction? It says, thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thy iniquity, because thy sins were increased. I have done these things unto you, right? Because we fucked up. It says, therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thy adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity, and they shall spoil thee. It says, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee would I give for a prey. And that's the point. So, hey, you have nothing but slavery coming. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, says Yahweh, because they called thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. And that proved that ain't talking about you small hats, because everybody looks up to the small hat. You own everything. You have everything on lock. You own the banks. You took over the world. You own everything. So this ain't talking about you, because when Jake go in these different countries, man, like you go to Ukraine and Poland, man, they shit on you, Jakes, man. Okay, you go to Ukraine and you talk that madness. You go over there and bring that hip hop coach over there. They'll chain your ass up, man. You know. So no, man. This is clearly talking about us. So with that, I'm gonna end it here, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And with that, Shalom and Abba Ball.